Good morning, Pennsylvania. Almost out of this hellhole. Literally. Nastiest weather you can ever see. I don't even know how the number of people live in Kansas live in Kansas. They should be out of here before they even move here if they had any semblance of luck over the evil that this place is. Right. So we'll give a certain thing an idea here. So what happens is people believe that liberal cities produce homeless people. The liberal cities produce homeless people and people that need food that don't want to work, quote unquote. Well, it's just like Rabbi Yeshua ben David, the guy that you erroneously call Jesus. Because it's easier to hate a Jew if you call him Jesus. All right, we support Israel, but you don't support Jewish people. I'll tell you that. There's a difference between supporting some modern nation called Israel run by a prime minister and actually supporting the Jewish kings. They're drawn unto them. Does that sound familiar? It has nothing to do with them producing homeless people. Now, maybe a little bit where they're a little lax on something, and I've criticized them for that. They need to make the standard real, right? And not be crony NGO, where you really deliver the product and you get a fair wage for it, but you don't gouge the government subsidy, program, so it doesn't have money to pay to people. Because for every so many people that you enrich in the scam, that's people that don't get the program money. Right. One of the things Elon was saying, there's one thing that sounded pretty good from Doge, but I don't know if they delivered on it, and it'd probably be difficult to deliver it. But they were talking about taking out the middleman in some of the programs, delivering directly to the people, which would be interesting. Right. Which would reduce overhead. Most of the charity mafia, and if they say they make a certain amount of money, if you try to undercut it below a certain amount, you won't have that that contract for long. Right? They killed USIS or something like that. Right. ACAL had the contract, and next USIS had it, and then after a while, I'm sure they got in there and paid somebody to mess it up. I mean, Yogi Bhajan's people were that kind of people. They're operators. So again, the idea is, if they say that, if I went back into that church, there's a chance that they would just do it based upon the amount of money they were being paid. But if they said no, that's it, we as LDS people, we're not to do this, they would double the money, and then they would do it. So again, it's not about me; it's about them and their evil and their criminal behavior. So what we need to do is we need to make sure they never do it again. So they need to get the treatment. The program they say that they have to use on me has to be used on them, and that's what the inception of the program was. The people that were corrupt and were the issue, like the deep staters, took over the program when it was supposed to be used against them to stop them from deep stating, using government, process for corruption, right? Like CIA. So they're using the CIA methods, right? So again, no, it's not an accident. It's throughout the church, I'm sure of it. And the fact is, it's like so bizarre, and people see it. I'm trying to tell you, I'm telling you things that the people have in their mind that they won't tell you because they're afraid to have repercussion. No, you need to hear it so you can get ready for the midterms. Wow, I didn't realize I had this much room left in here. Easier than I thought. So what I'm gonna do is get my stuff out of this piece of furniture I have in here, out of here, so I can put my bins in my van as I load them up. I got the last day. It's just a bunch of mostly putting stuff in bins, and then of course I do have to clean a little bit. But I paid somebody to clean, or I paid them to have somebody clean. And I can't leave too early on Monday because why? Because you get stuck in traffic jams. I got to time my trip. St. Louis is the only one I'm worried about. I have to take a look at that. I time my trip so I don't want to pull in to a major city during I want to pull in after kind of after 7 o'clock. Right. Again, 10 o'clock is probably where I'm looking at. Because then you don't sit around all night in a freaking hotel just all bored and shit. Right? You just get in there, you take your shower, you eat something, take your shower, and you go to bed. Right. I have these extra bins, but I think I'm gonna end up throwing these away. I don't have the side clips to clip the lid on for some reason. I might have one in the back there, but I'm not going back there. I can even still fit some more in here after I adjust it. Right. So I could even bring the bins here and stack them at the front here. Yeah, they're not going to fix this. Somebody may have called them and told them not to respond. I got that feeling from this place when I moved in. Right. That's that corrupt. Again, remember, I'm the good cop. Right. The fact that there may be cops involved has nothing to do with law enforcement. Again, they hate cops. They use anti-cop people against good cops. Right. And good cop isn't going to turn you in just because you did something wrong in your life. But as far as being a deep state criminal enterprise, that's major. Right. You're murdering people, all of you. You agree? So I'll probably cut these things up with an X-Acto knife and throw them in the trash. I put them in bags and get rid of it. All right. Get that out of my vehicle. All right. I got plenty of space now. I could even probably get more space out of here if I wanted. All right. That's loosely. It's not tightly packed. I mean, it's packed. It's not up to the ceiling or anything. So this is going to work real well. Well, I'm going to have to bring that back at a certain point. I'm probably going to have to sleep on that. Not tomorrow. I sleep on this. I still have the sofa in there, but the sofa is going to get loaded up tomorrow. Yeah, after I get done loading, I'm still going to have 20 hours or so before I leave. I have to get that pre-spotter down tonight this morning on the carpet. Yeah, there were mold spots under the carpet, so that could have been part of what got me sick too. But that's this community. It's nasty, nasty evil. Correct. I got those up they were pretty tough, but I got it up last night. Make sure I got everything I need taken care of. They just tell me to dump these into the storage unit, so I have extra garbage. When I say it's telling me, it's an inference, and it's coming from them because they have to move. Once they have to move, all the wrong inferences come flooding in. So I'm the most advanced spiritual person on the planet. Right. I mean, even early on, when I went to Hare Krishnas, that's how they spoke about me. But you all screwed it up by paying people, right? And sending some of your agents and officers. They may have been supposed to be investigating something else, right? Scamming everyone. We're here to save all of you. Here to own your community. Put you all in bondage to the Pharaoh. That's what they do. They're horrible people, man. Yep. Somebody's gonna have to operate them. They never do it again. You have to unprogram what was programmed. Right. You have to reverse the program. Right. Well, they were taught CIA stuff. You have to take them out. Right. They either stop or they die. That's the way it has to be. Right. Thank you, Larry. That's really what the program's for. You want to use CIA stuff against people, then you get operated until you stop. They reversed it by making the world dangerous and then saying it's dangerous and they have to help. But it's all bullshit. Right. I agree. The funny part is, do you notice how you're not looking for immigrants in Kansas? Do you notice that? They're here. See how they do that? Oh, we're ultra conservative and anti-immigrant. They're full of shit. Well, you're pissing people off with that shit about what's his name? And Clarence Thompson's trying to tell me something, but I don't have time for it right now. What's the guy's name got shot? Because Clarence Thomas is in my head office. Well, the guy that got shot, the guy the conservative talking head. You're just pissing people off of him. He's not this wonderful person. He's your friend, fine. And you want to honor your friend, fine. But you're really going overboard, all of you. Right? Now, freedom of speech is a funny thing. I mean, he's the one that lived off of freedom of speech, man. All right, he made millions off of freedom of speech. Right? But his speech was not expedient. He's a made man. That's all he was, man. The system. He was going to be a billionaire one day. Right. He's the next generation of billionaires. This prodigy, who's not really a prodigy. He mostly talks shit. He's a shit talker. He's a professional shit talker. That's what he was. Right. And he did it in a way to needle you and make himself look like he was the intelligent. Again, he's the epitome of our billionaires. And not really, I mean, just average people. Right. So he was the next spy-made person. But because we're in a more social media, YouTube type of generation, you got to see more of his making. Right. And of course, a different type of making. Could Peter Thiel be the son of perdition? Yeah, anybody could be. That's looks pretty good in the world. I don't think he looks as good as he could. Right. Well, because people go billionaire. Yeah, let's go run to see him. But see, there are people that will go see him. Any place that the deep state is, it's a deep state thing. If you go to see Peter Thiel and you take from him what he said and pass it to the world, then the deep state enriches you. There's spies watching. Right? So whoever goes to see Peter Thiel, like Russians will make wealthy, Chinese, right? If you put bullshit out. There's just no way a billionaire can tell you anything because he hasn't got to the first level of the Bible. Just like the idea that liberals breed homelessness. People go to their states because they'll allow them to live there. It won't like just throw them in prison and laugh. Get miserable from so he leaves. You're not going to heaven, any of you. You're actually antichrists. Well, he could change, I guess. As far as having $1 billion, that would make him a neophyte in Christianity. Like he really doesn't understand any of it. And the fact that he's talking about not looking around, that's a scary thing. Because that's what the deep state says. Don't look around at what's happening to your neighbor, just worry about yourself. Right. That's the epitome of the deep state. Now he's presenting it a certain way, but I guess people may have heard that and said, I'm going to flood there because that's the deep state, and then I'll get paid. You see? AI is going to pay deep state people and nobody else. But again, there's AI is probably going to cause the world to revolt. I'll tell you that right now. Correct. Because you're just going to laugh when nobody has money. You're just going to keep that model of laughing at people that don't have money. And then they're just going to say, well, then you don't have money. And you're not going to be able to stop the numbers. I'm telling you right now. Now, of course, Elon and all those people are building these island places where they can fly to, and they probably see it, right? They'll most likely fly to those places, but they will no longer be welcome in the United States and other places because they destroyed the world and the economy of the world. See, what is Trump doing? Are going to have a downturn, and if he is, the people will revolt. Not to that level, maybe, but they'll revolt. Right? They're already revolted. Your best buddy, I guess. I never knew Charlie Clerk's his name. I never knew Charlie Clerk was that close to Trump, right? But apparently he was. So it shook him. That was the goal. Well, he's not a Christian, really. Okay, right? Right. It was, but it's Trump. He's a salesman, and hey, the Christian worked, right? Right. God's trying to wake him up. Well, because he's in position to do the work. The question is, does he wake up? Right. And he's doing the work anyway, some of it. Well, our connoisseurship is taken out. So he's happy with it having to be Trump. But hey, if it's Trump, it's Trump. Because he's not really a Christian. He's saying God all day. That does bother God sometimes. Right. Thank you, Larry. I think the shooting was a wake-up call. Right. Which means maybe the Democrats weren't planning to do anything, as far as immigrants and all that. Well, these people are cursing my money. They'll be your money will be effed off, all of you. My wallet fell to the ground. My credit cards went spilling out. That means you're cursing my money. And I think I am the psychic. I think you're all a joke when you try to say you have any psychic power. It's all bullshit. How to enrich yourself, and that's it. Right. You see for yourselves what you don't see for the world. And that's what you're supposed to see. And again, that's pretty Christian of me to say, right? Oh, the AI's been around for a while. It searches for people that are selfish and makes them billionaires and makes them multimillionaires. And anybody that isn't doesn't get anything. And then it's taking Satan. It's actually Satan. This is when they use it like that. Right? So it's looking for the good people to kill and give them nothing and say you get nothing when you're good. It's because you all decided that that's what it would be. Not only metaphysically, but now you decided that through AI and everything else. Right. Search for corrupt people and enriching them, and then say the only way to be rich is to be corrupt. Right? It's like the Russians and the Chinese put that in our system. Right. But it destroys a nation. Right. But you actually joined the Soviets. I guess you're trying to overwhelm me. There's nothing to be overwhelmed about. They're just projecting all day, man. And I'm gonna get the bedroom pre-spotted, and then I'll start packing the bin. I might need one more thing. A great way to clean the corners in your room is to take a rake. Just take that rake and dig it into the corner of the rug. If you have rugs, you get all the dust and everything out of that corner. So again, this is what it is. Now I'll be done today. I'll have like maybe a little leftover more because I might not do my patio until after I get the truck. I mean, I'll do the patio. I just won't take the shade down until like tomorrow evening. Well, you all can reverse course. I don't believe the LDS Church is reversing course. I think they want me to believe that. I think I'm being psyoped.